and thank you for continuing to explore wecanlearntolearn.com. I thought you might be interested in the backstory and my qualifications for creating an educational practice with the unusual combination of brain savvy, trauma informed, mind body strategies. You see, a lot of it has to do with my own story and the discoveries I made along the way. When I was born, I was not expected to live, but I did. And then my well meaning parents, for whom education was very important, thought that by sending me abroad and having me learn different languages, it would prepare me for a successful life. So they did. And I had to deal with acculturation, trying to learn a language, going to school, and not being able to understand the lessons or what my friends were saying to me. That in itself is cultural shock right there. But I did it because I had to do it. And I finished school and came to the United States and decided to pursue art history because I fell in love with art history. And I continued it until I got my PhD from Columbia University. It took a long time because I was working part-time, lecturing for 25 years at the Museum of Modern Art, as well as the Metropolitan Museum and the Whitney Museum. After a while, I had my family, and that introduced me to the world of children. And I fell in love with children, particularly those who exhibited some learning differences, who felt uncomfortable in school, who experienced sensory overload, and who were tantruming, and the teachers didn't know what to do with them. In order to teach young children, I had to go back and get my graduate degree in general and special ed, which I did, and subsequently taught in public school. And there I found that there were many students who couldn't speak the language and who were either didn't qualify for special ed or weren't receiving enough hours to be able to handle the stress and the ability to learn the material. As a result, I left the school system and I started working for agencies who were in early intervention or provided special education itinerant teacher services for young children on a one-to-one basis, either in their home or in their schools. And that was very, very gratifying. And yet, I still felt that there was a piece missing that would help me understand why some of these children were not able to absorb the information or who weren't even responding when I was calling them. And at that time, somebody introduced me to somatic experiencing, and I became fascinated to learn that your nerves and emotions can actually get in the way of your brain being able to learn. And I also learned techniques in which I trained and became certified as a practitioner. So there was theory and then there was also practice. And in the same period, I learned about a specialized field of trauma, and that was early developmental trauma and attachment rupture. So I learned about the theory of that and also the application of how to heal and provide young children as well as adults with somatic regulation and resilience, and also transforming brain-based experience. But there was a limitation. I couldn't practice these skills that I had in school settings. So I had to create my own educational private practice. And here I was also able to include some of the most important recent technological interventions that include modulated filtered music that calm the nervous system tone it, and allow all the different functions that are involved in learning to surface. And that is why I created my private practice, so that I would be able to work freely with the children as needed, either in my office or in their homes. And I would also be able to impart this information, create webinars, and train teachers or even other therapists, because the importance of the nerves and the polyvagal theory is still not really very well known. And I'm here to promote this new awareness and revolution in education. I hope you join me.